right. We're back.
We are back, and so are some Derby athletes of yore.
Yes, indeed. Some who just played in the last game, yet are now alumni.
And some who have been retired for going on a decade at this point.
Right. Should be fun. Should be good. We'll see how things roll. As we slowly roll out. Lily Lightning, it looks like, will be taking the star first.
Lily Lightning, who posted to Facebook days ago that she would not be jamming, and then changed her mind.
It's like, well, apparently that didn't last. Yes.
If you knew everything at the beginning, it wouldn't be roller derby. So we're just making mistakes for the sake of our heritage.
So this is, I believe, a 15-minute game, which, where ice skating would be 14 minutes too long. I have neither the endurance or the agility to play this sport.
The crowd is going wild, though, as it should be.
Yes.
Some of the folks in this room have been fans of these skaters for going on 20 whole years at this point.
Very true.
Jammers all released, and the first jam is happening. Our white jammer is Molly Top Cocktail. Our black jammer is Lily Lightning, who is also our lead jammer. Molly Top Cocktail knocked to the inside by Carmen Get Some. Those are words I haven't said in about 8 years.
Molly Top Cocktail once again forced out. Lily calls off the jam.
Meanwhile, Lily Lightning was bumped to the outside by Sammy Automatic. Decided to keep the 2 points she's got in the bank. Call that jam off. Here comes Night Raven. And
I was really hoping Night Raven would keep the feathers on, because that was a look.
That was a look.
I was into that.
Apparently the bout fits were just for intros.
Man.
Betty Ford Galaxy has also abandoned her cape.
And nobody's wearing a belt either. You get a good belt. We had good shirt whips in the last game.
We should have had a belt whip. You are correct. If we were really going old school. I believe that is Meg My Day with the jammer star for the White Center Wonders, but I cannot promise you that.
Because once again, people in the way.
There is in fact a photographer directly between me and that jammer.
Darn it, Danny, get out of the way.
Or at the very least, you better get a really good shot.
Yes.
It had best be worth it.
Now normally there's a box where Danny would be standing, but there's a ref in the way. So, and it's like,
there are 2 refs in the way.
Call it. If you guys are standing in my space, I will stand over here.
It is very old school in that the photographers are not even set to their assigned seats.
They'll just go wherever they want.
And also, we had an official timeout that has lasted an interminable amount of time.
It's lasted longer than the first jam, yes.
During which I can remind you that Rat City is always recruiting. If tonight's action-packed bout has you thinking about starting roller derby journey of your own, email new skaters at ratcityrollerderby.com. Whether you're just learning how to skate or you're a seasoned veteran derby athlete, there is a place for you here at Rat City. And we mean that.
Yes. And we'll plug the merch as well. Once again, if you're looking around and going, boy, I wish I had a Throttle Rockets shirt or a Rat City General sweatshirt, hoodie, or sticker or whatever, head over to ratcityrollerderby.com. Click on the big banner at the top that says Get Merch Here, and you, too, can be well decked out. I like that they're playing the Jeopardy theme. I'm sure that's not adding any pressure to read the rules as he tries to figure out what's going wrong with the scoreboard right now. But this is a good time to thank our wonderful volunteers, referees, non-skating officials, announcers. Hey, that's us.
Hey, that's us.
Photographers, medics, all the people working behind the scenes to make this bout happen. If you would like to volunteer with Rat City, hit us up on the social medias. Always looking for more volunteers.
All right, the white coach is now hugging one of the black skaters.
That's good. And more of them. She's as nice. She'll hug anybody.
Also, if anyone is new to roller derby, She's a Brick House was a legend on Grave Danger back in the day. And those 2 skaters who happen to be skating for not her team today are also Grave Danger legends in their own right. So
It's all legendary.
Just right now, they're not teammates, but most of the time they are. All right, She's a Brickhouse going to take a mad dash off the track so as to not get a penalty.
That's a good thing. You don't want penalties. So once again, reset Night Raven.
Okay, there is Night Raven.
Jamming for the Brutal Poodles. And that is Meg, number 8, Make My Day. Jamming for the White Center Wonders. Meg looking to the outside, forced out of bounds. Night Raven dipping towards the center line and able to get free. Takes a hit from 480 Sister Slaughter. Bumped out of bounds and all the way back.
Meanwhile, that is, in fact, Meg My Day wearing the star for the white team, and although she is out second, does not have lead jammer status, she is approaching the pack once again, looking to put up some points for the White Center Wonders.
Bench calling for Night Raven to call it off. Night Raven ignoring the screams from the bench. It's Make My Day, slowed by Carmen Getsom.
First penalty of the game is going to go to Shorty Ounce. Little blocker cut track penalty.
Make My Day picked up 4 points on the previous push and now picking up a back block penalty. So Make My Day ignoring the whistle, it appears, or maybe didn't hear it. Now hearing for the jam ref. Oh, that was on me.
Looking to the jam ref to make sure the penalty applies.
Night Raven calls off the jam. Make My Day did get points prior to the penalty. Looking like 3 more for Meg, take them to 7. And 4 points going up for the Brutal Poodles. Ooh, power start and a pivot line start too. Really rolling it back. Maybe
Okay, but is it? Oh, they are. The pivots took the line and everybody remembered to back up because that used to be a thing people did for Rizzies.
Yes.
That black jammer is jalapeno business. Out with a very spicy lead jammer status.
Back speeding up. White Center Wonders running things forward. Make My Day out of the penalty box. Jalapeno business. Cutting in, bumping left and right. Shouldered out by Clobber and Mabe. It's Lily Lightning with pivot stripe now rolling Meg back. Jalapeno business. Still caught up. Red to Vicious teaming up with Clobber and Mame. As Molotov Cocktail holding the bridge.
Pat got strung out, but Jalapeno Business did manage to escape with 4 points for the Poodles.
Make My Day taken to the track, almost but not quite landed on by Method of Madness.
Jalapeno Business forced to the outside by Red to Vicious.
Make My Day forced to the infield, now both rolling. Back Meg's checking, was that a...
Forced all the way out of play, letting the jammer come back in without having to come in behind. No babies will be eaten this jam.
Make My Day star in hand. Not allowed to throw it, so that's not going to do any good. A star pass now to Lily Lightning by the Brutal Poodles.
Lily Lightning with the apex jump that she was famous for as a junior skater about 12 years ago that she swore up and down she was not going to be doing today. But we knew.
And apparently the star pass was in fact complete to Sammy Automatic. Perhaps it had been passed and then Sammy dropped it. It looked like a throw, but I might have missed that. Who knows?
According to the officiating crew, whose judgment we have to trust in this moment,
Exactly.
there was a legal pass before the fling and the drop and the pickup and all of that jazz. Or they decided we're just here for fun and the rules don't apply.
Who cares?
Also, could very well be the case because we are just having a very good time right now, as is Night Raven.
Night Raven.
Oh, so final and Sister Slaughter with a strong 2-0 there at the front.
Night Raven pushing. Almost clear, and finally gets around Sister Slaughter, and Sister Slaughter off to the penalty box. Meanwhile, Penny Racer forced out of bounds. Rolling towards the inside. Held up by 124. Carmen gets him.
Meanwhile, Night Raven is through 4 more points for the Brutal Poodles. Sister Slaughter back on the track just as a successful star pass puts the Jammer Star on the helmet of Oh So Final.
Night Raven grabs 4 more, calls the jam off. So that was an 8-0 run now, 25-14, 8.5 minutes-ish to go in our alumni scrimmage bout.
That is Pagnonis taking the jammer line for the Brutal Poodles.
A lot of experience upon your knees right there.
That is Molotov Cocktail jamming here for the White Center Wonders.
And
Looking to
Molotov
Sandy
Cocktail.
Automatic for some offense.
Lily Lightning, Seaman turning up the defense. Holds Molotov Cocktail. It's Pagnonis through for lead jammer. Continuing the streak of Brutal Poodle lead jammer calls. Back held up at the far side. The Molotov Cocktail forced out of bounds. Rolled back by Carmen Getzum.
Pagnonis bumped toward the outside, manages to stay in bounds, picking up 4 points.
Molotov Cocktail finally clears. Pops the star back on the head. Pagnonis, 8 in the bag, or 4 in the bag, picks up 4 more. An 8 spot, 33-14 now.
Just about halfway through this game, 33-14 in favor of the Brutal Poodles as Night Raven once again rolls up to the jammer line.
I believe that's Scratcher with the star, number 243 for the White Center Wonders. And Night Raven jamming for the Brutal Poodles. And Scratcher, first lead jam of the game for the White Center Wonders. Illegal contact penalty called. Sends Sister Slaughter to the penalty box, and a cut, or a forearm call rather. So power jam now for Night Raven, who is clear of the pack.
And in what is quite likely the nightmare of several of these skaters that have been retired for a while, this jam will go its full 2 minutes.
Night Raven. Oh, big shoulder from number 26. Oh, So Final. So Final says, have a little seat. What the heck?
And Smash Away with the jammer star for the White Center Wonders has been released from the penalty box.
They updated the board. It's Scratcher Eye Out number 243, which the jersey, it does look, kind of gets squinched. It looks like a 5.
243 and 253 being right next to each other.
Night Raven sandwiched, shouldered further. Nicole plated, not able to complete the knockout. So 4 points up more for Night Raven and 4 as well for Scratcher Eye Out.
Penalty box has cleared. We are back to full strength for both teams. Scratcher Eye Out bumped to the inside by Method of Madness.
Once again, slowing. It's Night Raven caught at the front. Scratcher up the outside. a 12 spot.
That is one thing that is weird to see about some of these old school
Or make that 10 for the White City Wonders.
No dirty jam.
It's been a 2 in the middle there. 24-37 now with 4:50 to go in our game.
White City Winners at 26, Poodle Poodles at 40 with 4:30 left with this half of this half.
I'm going to draw your attention to one of the brutal poodle blockers. Betty Ford Galaxy has made her way onto the track wearing a Season 1 Throttle Rockets bout fit. She has done a costume change into the most vintage of vintage derby gear. Meanwhile, that is Carmen Getsum out with lead jammer status. Sammy Automatic making her way around the front of the pack, emerging.
Carmen gets back and through the pack, calls off the jam, crowd goes wild.
Carmen gets some through the pack, turns around backwards, calls it off, and the crowd goes wild.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
There's a few Get Some fans in the crowd.
Why not? I'm not driving. She doesn't even go here.
I'm sure this is
Night Raven back out to jam for the Brutal Poodles. Molly Top Cocktail with the star for the White City Center Wonders. And
Molly Top Cocktail through with
Molly
lead
Top
jammer
Cocktail, lead
status.
jammer, breaks out first.
Jalapeno Business going to leave the track for a multiplayer block penalty.
And Night Raven taken to the track, slowed and caught by Sister Slaughter. And Molly Top Cocktail will slide on through, 4 points more. Takes the White Center Wonders to 30 points.
really great work by Sister Slaughter right now.
Now a 14-point game with 2.5 minutes to go or so.
Molly Top Cocktail sneaking by Shorty Ounce, the last line of defense.
Opening up for the White Center Wonders. If you're a White Center Wonders fan, make some noise!
Crowd being exhorted to make noise. You can make noise at home as well if you wish. Oh, that is a back block penalty. And I think Molly Top Cocktail knew with that. Like the smiling at the referee with the yes, that was in fact illegal.
I indeed did do that, she says,
Night
while
Raven.
skating to the penalty box.
43 seconds of power jam. And the White Center Wonders defense finally allowing Night Raven to complete the initial pass.
Once again, a jam that's going to go to its full 2 minutes.
Molly Top Cocktail released from the penalty box. And works through, picking up 4 points. It's 12 total on the jam.
Night Raven pushing on a 2-wall there at the front of the pack. Oh, so final and Sister Slaughter.
Jam comes to a close. Night Raven did, I believe, get all 4.
That is 4. It looked like 3 for a moment, but there's glare.
So that will take the Brutal Poodles to 48. White City Wonders 38. A 10-point game now, and we're down to a minute to go.
Loving this so much right now.
It's the best. Hannah Woodsass on the line for the Brutal Poodles. And
We reset again.
for the White Center Wonders.
That is Meg My Day jamming in white.
And number 17, Canna Whoopsass, jamming for the Brutal Poodles. Canna Whoopsass outside lane is open and lead jammer acquired. Make My Day trying to run away. Carmen gets him, and Juan Yoniz chasing down, and Carmen's like way beyond the pack. Like a good 50, 60 feet out from the pack. I don't think that's quite legal. Make My Day grabs 4 points as the jam is called off.
1 point for Canna Whoopsass.
So that will take us 49-42. All right, we're back.
We are back, and the skaters are back.
Yeah, the second half of the game I thought was only 1 half because that shows you how much I read the actual script. Apparently not enough.
The audience is thrilled. The skaters are on the track. Betty Ford Galaxy has once again changed clothes. We are now in like a season 3-ish era Throttle Rockets outfit. I do believe we are going to see every era of the Throttle Rockets out on the track today because Betty Ford Galaxy understands the assignment.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Carbon Get Some is going to start this half in the box because we are in fact throwing it back. That is oh so final jamming for the White Center Wonders. And that's a little dinosaur on Scott Chicken's screen saying that we do not have internet.
I'm not sure what's going on, but your connection down there is fouling everything all up. Yeah, you were in the orange and stuff, and we were dead in the middle, and so I reset the network. I don't know if you're back or not. Okay.
I've got just too many bodies. I think it's my problem. Like, there's too many people in between this and that. So we can see that. They aren't in the way right now. We'll wing it. All right.
We're fine.
All right. More tech fun as Read the Rules now back out with the whistle where he belongs.
Read the Rules is in charge of way too many things, is what I'm hearing.
Very true. And number 26, oh so final lead jammer for the White Center Wonders.
That is Method of Madness jamming for the team in black, forced to the outside by Clobber and Mame. Everybody tangled up there at the front. Method of Madness putting a hip into oh so final for dashing through to complete a initial pass.
Taps the hips. Pulls off the jam. The Method of Madness is like, but I didn't get any points. How fair is that? 46-49.
Check out the birdhouse.
As the White Center Wonders thinning down that lead. Sneaking ever closer.
That is Sister Slaughter jamming for White Center and
Jalapeno Business. Number 22 with the star for the brutal
Poodles. Wonder if anyone watching at home knows what a poodle is as it applies to roller derby. Jalapeno Business is currently your lead poodle.
Sister Slaughter out to the front. Clears, completes the initial as Jalapeno Business forced out of bounds. Calls off the jam. And we're seeing 3 points, I believe. I think that's
Lily Lightning going to go have a seat for a back block.
Oh. Block or back block? Where's the
Carmen gets some, and Meg My Day over on the jam line.
Business is one of the greatest names in the history of roller derby.
52-46, 13 minutes to go in the game. Carmen gets him.
Carmen gets him grinding there in the pack. It's a little offense by Betty Ford Galaxy, does not quite take advantage. Shorty outs.
Right, it's like, I'm just trying to stand up. Will someone stop hitting me, please? Betty Ford Galaxy thinking about the rollback, but was not ahead of Meg when Meg went out of bounds. Oh, there's the cut track call. Apparently I was wrong. But he was, in fact, ahead. So Carmen gets him lead jammer. Meg My Day sitting the cut track penalty.
Carmen gets them, hits the pack. Shorty outs gets in there, breaking them up just a little bit. Betty Ford Galaxy in for additional offense. Carmen gets them, finds a line from the inside. She is through with 4. Those of you watching at home may not have noticed because I had not until just now that the coaches have in fact switched teams. She's a Brickhouse is now on the Poodle bench. Lexi Luthor is now on the White Center bench.
So another 4 up takes the Brutal Poodles to 60.
You're taking the points of the keeper, but you're not taking a lot of risks.
And the
About,
yes, White Center Wonders held scoreless.
when we see the other jammer coming through in the point,
At
Score stands at 46 to 60. She's a brick house calling a timeout for the Brutal Poodles, the team she is coaching now,
Just
as
jumped
opposed
over
to the team she was coaching previously.
She was like, I like this side of the penalty box. I'm gonna just stay here.
when you become a PECU member, you get access to free check-in.
Send over your team.
Exclusive event discount. Visit PECU.org to learn more. Membership required, restrictions apply, and by NCUA.
Once again, want to congratulate the Rat City All-Stars for making the postseason. They will be competing in the North America West Regional Playoffs, June 14th through 16th in Mesa, Arizona. And tickets for the 2024 WFTDA Global Championships are on sale right now. That will be hosted by Rose City in Portland, Oregon. Coming up November 1st. Clears, or out of the penalty box, back engaged. Trying to remove the helmet cover, but it's kind of hung up on the helmet somehow. Now has it back off.
Carmen gets up, running her all the way back.
And a star pass by the Brutal Poodles. I think Night Raven now with the. Believe, yes, that is Night Raven coming out, having collected the star pass. They're like, you got to put that on your head. Put it on the head. Okay, there we go. Night Raven finally, with the star on the helmet, able to.
It did remove the pivot cover in the meantime. The pivot cover kind of hung up now in Night Raven's helmet. Fortunately, that is legal.
Yes. And Night Raven through for 4.
62-91, 2.5 minutes left in this game.
And we are resetting again. Hanyo knees set to jam for the Brutal Poodles. And I believe that Molotov Cocktail is starting in the penalty box.
Ponyo Knees is through with lead jammer status. That is Molotov Cocktail with the jammer cover in the penalty box. That is Molotov Cocktail with the jammer cover in her hand, no longer in the penalty box. Dealing there with Shorty Ounce and Tempura Tantrum. Former Grave Danger teammates making a big 2-wall there at the back of the pack.
Hanyo hears the cry from the bench, calls off the jam. And picks up a couple of points. We're down to 1 minute and 12 to go. 102-62. Brutal Poodles in the lead. And She's a Brick House says, I would like a timeout. I want to continue this joy.
She's
for
a Brick
another
House
minute.
does not want this game to end.
Does not at all. She's just like, no, continue, please. We must play more.
She's not as hungry as some of us are.
Yes, very true. So I want to thank another sponsor. When these skaters are not on the track, they like to cozy up with a steamy novel from sponsor Lauren Dane. Pick up one of her New York Times bestsellers today at laurendane.com.
Not just on the track, we got all kinds of family surrounding the stands.
Rory Grande doing his best to try and break all the speakers while also hyping up the crowd.
Tonight, legends are in the house. Speaking of legends, we've got 2-4-3 Scratcher in the
So we are down to 57 seconds to go. Scratcher jamming against.
That rolling whistle was the end of timeout only, but these skaters
They were ready.
were so ready.
They're also out of practice. So they're like doing that thing that when you have in practice, you're like, oh, I gotta go. I heard something blow.
That whistle was the real whistle.
Scratcher in the eye
That
out
is
first.
Scratcher eye out.
Jammer Carmen gets some plays defense as Carmen gets him as one to do. Getsum's like, I'm just going to defend you for the full minute and let the clock run out.
Scratch Your Eye Out does have lead jammer status and the power to make it stop whenever she chooses. Meanwhile, Carmen Getsum has 4 points.
Getsum with 4. Scratcher gets a little whip and is through. The clobber and maim whip on that pass. Gets him through with 4 more. And that calls off the jam, and that is our game. I give you the final score, but I can't see the scoreboard because there's too many people in the way.
It's 66 to 110.
All right.